Hey y'all, let's do the very last video for this long line of videos for our exam 3 review. The last two videos, the last two problems we did on the last video was doing row operations on 2x2 and 3x3 matrices. And so now what we're going to do is use Cramer's rule to solve these two problems, 41 and 42. So I noticed in 41 what I have is 3x plus 5y equals 59, and I have a negative 2x plus 2y equals a negative 2. What I notice here is that I have A, B, and C, which is going to be these coefficients. Let me go ahead and just, I'm just going to kind of do this. Those are my A's, those are my B's, and those are my C's, right? If I'm going to solve, that means I'm going to be looking for my X and my Y values. That system of equations follows this right here because I have A, B, and C columns. And so that's going to be what I use to solve this problem. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take that highlight off. Okay, so let me go ahead and write down. I guess I will. Okay, I didn't really want to write this down again. 3x plus 5y equals 59. Negative 2x plus 2y equals a negative 2. Okay, remember this is my A column, B column, C column, and we're using that formula right there. This is how you find your X and your Y. Okay, and if you notice, they have the same denominator, A sub 1, B sub 1, A sub 2, B sub 2, which is how you find, I don't have it written here, but it's the determinant, right, of just your A column and your B column. I just don't have it written in that manner right there. So what I would do is I'm going to find my determinant first, which is going to be A sub 1, B sub 1, A sub 2, B sub 2. I would do 3 times 2, subtract from that a negative 2 times 5. I would get 3 times 2 is 6. Signs are the same, so it's positive. And then, hold on, I'm looking. Oh, that's the other problem. I was like, oh no, I wrote it wrong. I wrote it right. And then I would do 2 times 5, which is 10. Signs are different, so it's negative. Then multiplied by that other negative makes it a positive. And then we have 6 plus 10 is going to give us 16. So our determinant is 16. The reason why I find the determinant first is just so that I already have that work done. And whenever I do the work to find X, I just divide it by this 16. When I do the work to find Y, I'll just divide it by this 16. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the work that we need. We're looking for X first, and that's right here. Okay, so I know I have my A column and my B column. This additional C column is going to shift within the determinant depending on which variable we're trying to find. The fact that we're trying to find our X variable right now, which is right here, means that whenever I take the determinant where my X's would be, right, that A column, I'm going to actually put my C column there. Okay, and what I mean by that is I'm going to put C sub 1, and then your B stays because that's where B would have been. And then C sub 2, B sub 2, and then we're going to divide by 16. Okay, so that's what I meant by I'm trying to find my X, which is the first column, but because I'm solving your column of constants, right? The C column goes here where my X's would be, right? And then right here, that stays the same. Okay, and those are from the B column, so it's B sub 1 and B sub 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill in those values. What I would get is a 59. B sub 1 is going to be 5. Then I get a negative 2, So 2 is going to be 2. And then once you have all of those written right there, what you're going to do is make sure you divide by 16, okay? Y'all, I'm going to move right here just because it's getting kind of clustery up there. Okay, so I'm going to go down right here. So let's go ahead and let's actually find the determinant. What I would do is 59 times 2, subtract from that, -2 times 5, and I need to subtract by 16. 59 times 2, you're going to get 118. And then 5 times 2 is 10. Those signs are different, so it's negative. Then there's that other negative, which makes it positive, and we're dividing by 16. If you use your calculator, you'll get 128 divided by 16. And so for our x, what we get is 8. And then to find our y, it's literally the exact same setup, the exact same steps. The only difference is our C column is going to shift to right here where, because it goes in order, right? X, Y. Our C column is going to shift to where our Y's are, which are in our B column. And the A column values are just going to remain the same. So my A column values are 3 and a -2, and then my C is 59 and -2. You take the determinant of our what's in the numerator. What you get is 3 times -2, subtract from that -2 times 59, divide that by 16. Okay, what I get here is 3 times 2 is 6. Signs are different, so it's negative. 2 times 59 is 118. Signs are different, so it's negative. That extra negative right there makes it a positive. We're going to divide by 16. And then if you do -6 plus 118, and then you divide it by 16, what you get for our y is going to be 7. And so because we actually solved for this, you would write it as an ordered pair, which would be 8, 7. And that's going to be your final answer for using Cramer's rule to solve that system. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the very last problem, y'all. Okay, almost. I almost had everything go away. Let me hold this differently so I can write. Oh, so I can write a little bit better. Okay. So for problem 42, I'm a lot closer to the laptop now, y'all. I'm like hugging it. Problem 42, we have 2x, we have a positive 3y, and we have equals 34, and then we have 3x, we have a negative 2y, and that's going to be equal to a -1. This is our A column. It has our X values, correct? This is our B column that has our Y values. This is our C column and it has our constants. This is what shifts. Okay, your C column, when you're solving, that's what shifts. And if you're trying to solve for X, it's going to go where your X's would have gone. If you're trying to solve for Y, it's going to go where your Y's would have gone. And remember, your X's come from A column and your Y's come from the B column. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's write this. I was going to say, I don't know what I was going to say. Let's write this in. I don't know why. Let's actually solve this for our determinant because I know that they're both going to be divided by the determinant. So I'm just trying to do a little step that I can first, right? Okay, so our determinant is going to be just those coefficients, right? As you take what's in your A column and your B column, and we apply what we learned, which is 2 times -2. Then what we're going to do is we're going to subtract from that the product of 3 times 3. 2 times 2 is 4. Signs are different, so it's negative. 3 times 3 is 9. Signs are different, so it's negative. Because these two signs are the same and I'm combining, what you do is you just add them together and you keep their sign. And so this is saying that our determinant is a -13. And then finding our x, I know I'm going to have the determinant in my numerator, and I know I'm going to divide it by the actual just determinant that I just found, which is a negative 13. I know that my row of constants shifts because I'm solving for x. It's going to go in this first column, and then I have 3 and negative 2 in my b column, which are the coefficients to my y values, right? My y variables, I'm sorry. And so if we take the determinant, we have 34 times a negative 2, subtract from that a negative 1 times 3, and we're going to divide this by a negative 13. So if you do 34 times 2, what you get is 68. Signs are different, so it's a negative 68. 1 times 3 is 3. These signs are different, so it's negative. This extra negative makes it a positive, and we're going to divide that by a negative 13. And then if you do negative 68 plus 3, we get what? Negative 65 divided by negative 13. For our x, what we get is 5. For our x, what we get is 5. Okay, y'all. Y equals, I was going to say denominator in the numerator, determinant in the numerator, divide by the determinant of a 2 by 2, which is those right there. I've already done that. Now, in order to find my y, I know that my column of constants is going to shift because my y's are located in my b column. That's where my constants shift to. So I have 34 and a negative 1. This is where my a column goes, those coefficients on those x variables. So I have 2 and 3. If we evaluate the determinant, I get 2 times the negative 1. Subtract from that 3 times the 34. Divide by negative 13. And so what I have here is 2 times 1 is 2. Signs are different, so it's negative. And then if you do 3 times 34, what you get is 102. Those signs are different. I don't know why I can't do a 0 to save my life. So it's negative, divide by negative 13. Negative 2 combined with a negative 102 is going to be a negative 104 divided by negative 13. For our y, what we have is 8. And then because it actually said to solve, what you would do is put this into an ordered form, an ordered pair, sorry. You could say an ordered pair form. And 5, 8, y'all, that's going to be your answer. Just a little note, this will be included on the exam for your interest formulas. And I assume I'll get an email Friday morning with, if there's anything that we can write on the board. I know for a fact that I will not be writing the equivalent logarithmic and exponential forms, and I will not be writing the way to find a determinant of a 2 by 2. So yeah, I guess we'll do orange. I don't know about these right here. Y'all, have you noticed they're all fairly similar? And I've done my best to try to explain how the C column, when solving for x, goes where my x's would be, right? Because that's where my x's are. They're the first column, but that's where I put my constant column. And then here stayed what it should have been, or what you would assume it to be. And then for y, to solve for y, my row of constants went here because, x, y. The same thing would happen with z, even if you went as high as a 3 by 3. And you're trying to find the actual values for x and y. Sorry, my mind went blank. That column of constants just shifts, okay? Okay, y'all. So that is literally it. We did 40 problems. That was a lot of problems. 42. We did 42 problems and about 11 videos, which is okay. I I can only cover 20 in class on Friday, and y'all's exam is on Monday. If you have questions, make sure you let me know. Thanks. Bye.